for a spot to film in the winter is tough. I don't know if you guys can see how much snow is out here. This is crazy. Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I picked up the camera and made a video, but today we're finally going to be doing the Q&A and announcing the winner of the giveaway in the last video. So you guys gave me a lot of good feedback and questions on Instagram and YouTube, so it shows me who's really interested in the videos, who's watching, subscribing, and you know, continuing to watch even like small videos like this. So I really appreciate it, and hopefully I can answer these questions fully in this video and maybe even drop some more videos later on the actual content for those questions. So as you guys can see, I am dailying the RS4 in winter. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but this car is so dirty right now. It's literally covered in salt and mud and just road grime. I did take this car on a 2,000 plus kilometer road trip down to Indianapolis to visit my boy Imi. We had a good time there. Go check out his channel. We did some mods on his brand new to him, I guess, BMW E91 wagon. Go check out his channel. It looks sick right now. And I picked up some parts there for the BRZ. If you guys have been active on Instagram and seeing my story, you'll know what's happening, I guess. And yeah, for the RS4 for this summer, I've got a couple things happening. The wheels are getting refinished. I dropped those off to Writer's Garage a little while ago, and I'm expecting them to come back in a couple of weeks. If you guys want to guess the finish on those, I've probably teased that a bunch of times, but yeah, that's getting done. I also may do downpipes on this car. I don't know. And I definitely do need a brand new front lip, because this one's it's not loose, but it's showing some wear over winter, so you know, you're gonna have to sort that out. And definitely gonna go for a wash right after filming this video. It's covered in crap. Okay, so to start things off, we're gonna jump straight into questions, and as you guys, I don't know if you guys can tell them behind me, but there's a lot of snow out. We just got 3 blizzards in the last 2 weeks, and we probably totaled like a meter of snow, so it's been really hard to, like, that combined with work, my work schedule recently, it's been really hard to film stuff. And the BRZ's parked, of course, you guys know that. So all right, so first question, Awesome says, just the beginning, let's go. Will 2023 be the year you get a BMW? You know, there's a lot of Beamers I like, and I think I've talked to you before, Awesome, about which cars. I mean, I would love a 740 IL, you know, the Transporter style. I think we talked about this before. That's the car I would really love to have. Stance that car out, not go full VIP, but you know, make it look really nice. Maybe bag it or slam it static or something crazy like that on M parallels or LMs or something sick like that. But unfortunately right now I don't really have the space for it. I'm like shuffling cars around even right now. That's why the BRZ is not at home. So if I get space, one day I could see a BMW in my ownership. Next question, I Love Pies comments, the Starlight Headliner made me sub, and what is going to be next for the BRZ? Okay, so this is going to be kind of exciting. I have a bit of a transformation coming for the BRZ. It's something that I was not really confident to do up until kind of now. So yeah, expect some big things coming for the BRZ. I'm not going to let you guys know exactly what's happening, but if you guys have been seeing on Instagram on my stories, you might be getting some hints there. So maybe drop a comment down below and guess, and well, I want to see what you guys think is happening, and yeah, stay tuned, it's gonna be pretty sick. All right, now Freddy de Guzman, sorry if I'm messing up any of these names, I'm like the worst at names. Freddy says, followed on Instagram and subscribed. What is it like to own a BRZ? I think most BRZ FRS 86 owners are gonna say the same thing. I think the community is the best part of it. It's a really good platform to own and buy into, because there's a lot of information around. If you like to mess around with stuff and, you know, customize things, make whatever you have your own, I think it's a really good platform to get into. Modifying cars, getting into and learning stuff, I think it's a really good car to learn on, so it's easy to drive in that way. Even though it's rear-wheel drive, I think it's a really good first rear-wheel drive car to have. So there's a lot of good benefits and positives to being on the platform, and there's a lot of negatives too. And not to make this too long, but you know, like, I'm kind of bulletproof to it at this point because I don't care, but a lot of people talk a lot of shit about these cars because they're slow, whatever, but if you've ever seriously driven an 8.6, you know that the speed doesn't really matter. The car is about handling and the feel. It's just such a good driving car. Like, I daily drive this RS4. It's got double the horsepower of the BRZ stock, and every time I get into the BRZ after driving this car, it is so refreshing. It's such a fun car to drive. And yeah, I got nothing but good things to say about my experience with it. I'm coming up on 5 years this summer, I think, owning the BRZ. Yeah, 2018 to 2023. So overall, I love it so much. I would not trade this car for anything. It's hopefully a car I want to own for the rest of my life, at least as long as I can drive. So yeah. definitely recommend getting into an 86 BRZ FRS. So Thumplepuss, funny username, sure. So it's a long comment. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but thank you for the feedback. The question is, what do you currently do for a living, and what is your dream job if it's not YouTube? So I actually have a pretty good job that I'm mostly happy with, and I think every job has, you know, its issues and whatever, but I'm currently an engineer for a research and technology department of a transportation company. So that means I do R&D stuff. It's generally pretty fun engineering work. And what is my dream job, to be honest? I have no idea. I don't know, you know, it's kind of something I've been thinking about a lot lately, if that's something I want to make a change in my life for. It's a big risk, obviously, like, you know, changing jobs and stuff, but, you know, I went to school for engineering. I got an engineering job. I'm just along that career path, and hopefully it takes me somewhere where I can do something on my own and stop working for someone else. Though Irfani asks, I'm thinking of supercharging or turbo my 2020 BRZ, but it's my daily driver, so I'm wondering how reliable it is in the winter or just overall. So I would not recommend boosting your car if it's your only car. If you have other family members at home that you can borrow their car when you have an issue, expect your car, like when you have an issue, to be down for a little while, depending on your skills with, you know, debugging it mechanically and also getting communication from your tuner. So I would say expect the worst, and if you can get around it somehow by having a second car, no problem. If you don't need to daily drive your car, like if you can manage by taking the bus or an Uber or having a family member's car, I don't think that's that much of a problem. But also keep in mind, it's a lot of stress on the car. You got to make sure your car is healthy. You got to do the supporting mods. Get the best tune you can. Don't go to just some local tuner some guy told you about. You know, go do your research. I really highly recommend Counter Space Garage. Zach is the best tuner. He's super knowledgeable. But, you know, whatever works for you, go that way. And, you know, still assume the worst, budget for, you know, a blown engine or a transmission or a clutch or something, because one day it might happen. So just be realistic, have your expectations in check. So far in my experience, the kit and the tune has been very reliable. I'm actually going to be turning it up a little bit. That's a little bit of a hint for what's coming next on the BRZ. Yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a more in-depth video on this topic about supercharger and boost and reliability and stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that if any of you are interested. Abdullah8283 asks, what would you recommend for someone's broke college student first car? Like, what's an affordable basic car that's efficient, reliable, and low maintenance? Okay, for your first car, I would really recommend just a Japanese car, like a Toyota or a Honda. It sounds boring, but if you just need a car to get you places, they're fairly cheap, they're very reliable, parts are cheap, maintenance, like hours wise, is cheap, they're easy to work on. It's an easy car for you to learn to do stuff yourself. I would take whatever budget you have and stretch it as far as you can to find something that's as new as possible, low kilometers, but, you know, kilometers don't tell the whole story, or miles don't tell the whole story. Find something that has been maintained decently well, so you don't have a lot of work to do, you know, in your ownership. And yo, have fun with it. Like, cars are fun. If you make it fun, it's all about your attitude. If it does have problems, then just be prepared to spend a little money on that. If you're broke, you know, stick to the bus. I didn't get my first car till I finished school and got a job, so, you know, that's the perspective. If you really need a car, you'll find a way to make it work, and if you don't, you'll find another way to get around. Ethan Weinhoff, sorry if I butchered your name. He asks, or he says, dude, you have insane clean taste. Thank you so much, appreciate it. Can I ask where you are in America, and if we could possibly do a car photo shoot with the B8 S4? Hit me up. I'm actually in Canada, so I don't think we'll be able to do a photo shoot unless you're somewhere where I go frequently. Yeah, I don't know, maybe let me know where you are, and if I'm ever in the area, we'll do a shoot. Or if you come to Canada, if you're in the Greater Toronto area, hit me up on Instagram, let me know. I'm down to do a shoot. So next we got a question about wheel fitment and specs, which is always a fun topic for me. I'm gonna mess up this name, so you're next. Hokagi, I don't know, sorry. This person asks, hey, I have a question about your fitment. So a while ago when you were showing your specs with the add-ons, you said you had a 9.5 wide rim, but your tires were 255. But 255 millimeters is 10 inches, so I'm a little confused because I don't know how you got the stretch look, even though the tires are wide on the rim. Just asking because I'm currently trying to, I guess, fit my rims for my BRZ and don't want to mess up the fitment. The easy way to answer this question is different tires from different manufacturers have different rubber compounds, and that determines how tough the sidewall is. So when you mount a tire this wide on the exact same width wheel, it's possible that different tire manufacturers, the compound is stretchier or harder, and that will change how the sidewall looks. So because of that, you may get more of a stretch look or not. It's a little bit of a funny thing. If you want to be perfectly square, I would say a 265, 35, 18 is what you should put on a 9.5. Because sometimes the wheels, where the tire sits on the wheels, also different for different wheels. And it's kind of a weird thing that I've kind of learned recently because of the BBS LMs that I bought. for this RS4. So it's a finicky thing. I would say if you're really looking to get this exactly the way you want it, look for examples online. A 255 3518 on a 9.5 is a very common setup for the 86 platform. So if you like the way it looks, then go for it. I personally, now looking back, wish I fit 265 35s just because I like the square look. I think the Michelins and 255 35 are still okay, but yeah, next time I would go for 265s. So I know I answered that pretty fast with like a lot of vague information, but the real answer is it depends on the wheel and the tire, which is annoying, but just look online to see what you can find. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments down below and I'll be sure to answer you. So AF Special asks, the Starlight headliner and Valenti Gold fourth brake light installed made me sub. For Q&A, do you prefer the GR86 front end or the new BRZ front end? In the beginning, I didn't like the BRZ at all. To be honest, I'm not really that hyped on the Gen 2s other than the performance. I think the performance is really good, and that car is probably going to wake up a lot with boost one day. But cosmetically, I'm not a big fan of either. Like, to be honest, I don't really like the GR86 or the BRZ front face or the rear at all. I think the the GR86 has more potential to look good with lowering the car, adding a body kit, or like a front lip or some mods and stuff. Like, I think the GR86 is a better starting point. The BRZ I've kind of come around to a little bit more. I still don't like it, but I like it more than I did in the past. So it's something that I'm just getting used to and like seeing more often. I wouldn't say I love them. I say the first gen is way nicer of a car. That is my personal opinion. I might have offended some people, my bad, but I really think what matters more is obviously like the car looks are important. If that matters to you, then get the car you like. If it looks good, that makes you feel good too. But you know, the cars, both the Gen 2 and the Gen 1, both platforms drive really well, really good handling cars. They accept mods. There's gonna be such fun stuff happening to these cars. So yeah, just to answer your question, if I had to pick between the two, GR86. So Dylan Park comments and asks, picking up new JDM wheels for the BRZ, also one of my dream wheels, and do you ever plan on doing a wide body kit? So long story short, no, I'm not really into wide bodies. I respect the builds that are done, you know, that I've seen, especially locally to me. There's a huge 8.6 community in Toronto, and I've seen a lot of really nice builds, but it's not really my style. To be honest, I think it's a bit overdone. The guys who have done it, mad respect to them for, like, you know, spending the money and the time to make it look as clean as it does. They look really good. I actually love a lot of the wide body builds, but I just would not really do it myself. I'm a bit more of a function dude. If I were to ever blow my engine and put, like, you know, a 700 to 800 horsepower setup into that car, then I think maybe I would wide body it to get, you know, like way more meaty tires and a more stronger rear end and a transmission and all that stuff into the car. So yeah, probably I'd only wide body the car for power. So now I'm gonna jump to Instagram. This is Drago asks, new BRX or old BRZ, so I'm assuming it's the BRZ. Answered this before, Gen 1 BRZ, hands down, my favorite. Raja the Raja asks, what's your dream car? That's a really tough question. I literally had to stop recording and think about this for a little while. And, you know, something came back to me from way back in the days when I didn't know much about cars. I think maybe like a lot of you guys, my first real car exposure to cool stuff was with Need for Speed. And you know, through the early Need for Speed games, my favorite car became the Lamborghini Diablo. At an early age, I fell in love with Lambos. I had posters of them. We had a poster in our house, like someone, I guess my brother or my dad put up somewhere with a bunch of cars in a garage. If I find it online, I'm gonna put it up here. So like we had those two posters, and there was this purple Diablo that I was like basically dreaming about. And you know, one day if it can ever happen, that's the car I really want to own in that finish. I don't know what spec it was, I don't know how much it costs, anything, but that's the car one day I would love to own. My boy Road Kickin' asks, if you had to only pick one, are you keeping the RS4 or the BRZ? Again, tough question. I'm not sure how many of you will agree, but every single time, 10 out of 10 times, I'm picking the BRZ. The BRZ is a fun car. I can still daily it if I want to, I just don't. But the BRZ, it is fun, it is enjoyable, it sounds good, it's so personalized. That car is me from top to bottom. At the same time, it's also the opposite of me. I express myself in that car a lot. So, you know, hard to put it in words, but between the two, for sure the BRZ. Last question, R34 Ali asks, why Subis? Were you always interested in Subis? And no, I'm not really a Subi guy. Like, I'm not really into WRXs, STIs. I do like the wagon. What is it? That being said, I will say I do love the Subi rumble, and that's why I have unequal length headers on the BRZ. And I've seen a couple really nice STIs in my area. These guys got some really nice sounding exhaust and blow off valves, and dude, like, I'm not gonna lie, there was a point where I heard one going by and I wanted one, and it was because of the sound. And I gotta say, it sounds cool, so I don't know, maybe I'll try to get that sound coming out of the BRZ too. All right, so my camera battery is getting pretty low right now. Thank you everyone for the comments, the questions, the support, the likes. It means the world to me. It shows me really who watches these videos and who cares. So we're just gonna go home and select the giveaway winner. Yo, we're back home ready to pick the giveaway winner. As you guys can tell from my haircut and beard trim, it's been a little bit, I edited the Q&A section of the video a couple times to make sure it was short enough. The video is getting kind of long. I think I missed 1 or 2 questions, but I'll be answering them in full detail in the original video. So if you guys want to see, you know, in full detail, just go check the original video and I'll have full answers over there. So this is my first time doing a giveaway. I didn't really look into how to do this properly. And since I did YouTube and Instagram comments, I'm going to be exporting the comments from the original video on YouTube into an Excel sheet using exportcomments.com. It's just a website I found. And I've got a screenshot of the comments, so I'll be adding them to the same Excel sheet and using a random number generator to pick the winner. And yeah, let's get to that right now. So right here, we're gonna copy the link from the YouTube video and drop it into exportcomments.com. Let it do its thing. It's gonna export the comments to an Excel sheet. We're gonna download that Excel sheet and open it up and make sure all the comments from the original video are actually in that Excel sheet. You guys can slow this down if you wanna make sure yours are there, but you'll notice I added 2 comments because they were nested and they were hidden. They wouldn't be exported using the free trial or whatever, a free version of the export comments website. So I added those 2 comments here. Now that we've got all 35 YouTube comments, here I'll be adding the 5 Instagram comments. All right, guys, you guys can see we've got all 35 YouTube comments exported to this Excel sheet, plus the 5 Instagram comments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a random number generator to pick one of these numbers at random, and whoever wins this, whoever gets selected, will win the giveaway. So yeah, let's get to it. Random number generator, we'll go from 1 to 40. And just to make this fair, recording everything to make sure you guys know what's happening. So 3, 2, 1, we'll just reveal the winner. 18. So comment 18 is Arbaz Shah. So there we go. That is the end of the first giveaway on the channel. Huge congrats to Arbaz Shah. His comment was, "You're a friend and I subscribed because I want to support. LOL." Thank you, Arbaz. But if I had to choose one video, it would definitely have to be the comprehensive Starlight headliner video. So I know a lot of you guys share the same opinion as him. I know a lot of my subscribers come from early on in this channel when I made that Starlight headliner video. So it's really cool to see how many of you guys are still around. So Arbaz, make sure you get in contact with me. You can send me an email at livingasleephd@gmail.com. I'll put it down here in the video. Or you can send me an Instagram DM at livingasleephd. And whichever of those are easier, make sure you get in contact with me. I'll make sure you get that $50 Amazon gift card. And just want to say again, thank you so much to everyone else who participated and left really nice comments and questions. Your support means everything to me, and it makes me really excited for the content coming to the channel this year. And who knows, at the end of this year, maybe if we hit another big milestone, maybe we'll do another giveaway. So stay tuned. I promise it'll be worth sticking around. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.